The AYN Odin is the latest beast to jump into the world of retro gaming handheld consoles, but the AYN Odin might simply be the one console I am looking forward to the most. The AYN Odin is the flagship handheld console to come out of AYN Technologies. In a world where we seem to get new retro gaming handheld consoles almost every single week, for one console to stand out takes a lot of effort. And the AYN Odin has done a lot to make itself stick out head and shoulders above the rest of the competition. Now, regular viewers of the show will know I'm a huge fan of the Anbernic line of retro gaming handheld consoles. And the RG552, the one I reviewed most recently, is my favourite retro gaming handheld console so far. However, being even as good as the RG552 is, there was still a few niggles and issues that I want Anbernic to sort out to take their consoles to the next level. You see, I truly believe the next generation of retro gaming handhelds is here, with dual OSs and touchscreens becoming the norm, enabling you to play in Linux mode or Android, which gives you access to all the classic retro gaming emulation awesomeness, but also access to the future of cloud streaming technologies. The RG552 truly is a powerhouse of a gaming handheld console and really takes it toe-to-toe with a Nintendo Switch. However, the AYN Odin has entered the scene and it looks like it's been taking notes. One of the biggest issues that I've had with Anbernic consoles is their shoulder buttons and how their shoulder buttons are in a line. It makes it really difficult to fully utilize the R1, R2, L1, L2 buttons in a game that really needs them. With the Nintendo Switch showing us that these buttons can still be staggered like a conventional controller and still make the form factor of a handheld console, there's really no excuses for handheld console developers to not stagger their shoulder buttons. For me, up until now, the perfect retro gaming handheld console would be a mashup between the Retroid Pocket and the RG552. And it looks like AYN Technologies have done exactly that and sprinkled over it their own amount of awesomeness. The AYN Odin ticks all the boxes for me in terms of controls. It uses the same Switch-like joysticks. It has that traditional and familiar button layout as well of the Nintendo Switch, but also more importantly, it staggers its shoulder buttons. On top of that, the AYN Odin comes with a 6-inch touchscreen, a powerful mobile processor, and an Android OS ready for you to explore the world of gaming how you want to. But this is how hyped I am, this is how excited I am from the previews and the early reviews that I've seen of the console. I had a really good feeling about this when I first heard about it last year, and now that I've seen people finally getting it in their hands, I am absolutely psyched to get mine. I've had the awesome news that mine will be arriving in the next month, and I cannot wait to give you guys a full review of that console. The AYN Odin comes in 3 flavors that you can get on Indiegogo. It comes in a light, a base, and a pro. The light, as the name suggests, is the lightest of the 3 options, with a smaller processor, GPU, and RAM as well. Next up is the base, which keeps the same kind of RAM and storage, but has an upgraded GPU and CPU. And then you have the Pro, which is the upgraded, beefiest version of the AYN Odin. And if, like me, you're excited for GameCube and PlayStation 2 emulation, then you need to get the Pro version. Because you see, this is what's got me exploding with excitement now for the AYN Odin. The early statements and the early footage of how this console can handle GameCube and PlayStation 2 emulation. The reason why I love handheld gaming and the reason why this channel focuses on handheld gaming is because that's what I'm able to get my teeth into most of the time. And so for years now, I have been hoping and waiting and wishing for PlayStation 2 emulation to reach the point where we can enjoy it on handheld consoles. And it looks like that moment is finally here. Now, if you want to see how awesome the AYN Odin is when I finally get my hands on it, then hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on that awesome episode. Once again, thank you for watching and see you next time.